have Chang Gang up top, so S tier. You put Hydra up there?
Yeah, I think so. The way that I think of it, right? Seaside smoked Gulag Gang, and Seaside have a bench. Hydra have access to Chang Gang's bench, and Seaside give sprays to Hydra to avoid going to war with them.
Yeah, makes sense. The Aztec is that's a meme, I would imagine.
No. We basically just the spirit of Jason is carrying them to us.
Oh, okay, yeah. Jason is a real one. Seaside under A. I actually think that's a good pick. I think Seaside is A.
I think they're strong as fuck, man. I honestly think
they might even be S tier, to be honest. But
that's what I said.
We said very high A. Yeah. I just don't think they have the same influence as Chang Gang or Hydra. They just
when you think about it, though, we're not so like Chang Gang are like NA, Hydra are like late, well, just like mid EU NA, but Seaside of like early EU. So we don't really feel that influence.
Yeah.
You know, like
true.
Because if you think about it, none of our guys hang around UWU because that's not where the shit that goes on when we're around. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I know we meme and we say all these people hang around UWU and they get jobs there, but that's because that's where it's popping in those hours. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, they've got a bench. They've got probably, in theory, one of the best benches in the city. Can make grozers.
Yeah.
Pipe bombs. Like.
Yeah, I think it's a good spot for them to be. It'd be interesting to see who would win that war between Hydra and Seaside.
Yeah.
Because
I've been wondering that.
I think it'd be a very fair. They both have access to benches. They both have good shooters, really good shooters. They both have an EU and an NA presence.
Yep.
I think they both have tons of money. So
what we also said as well is with the what was I going to say? Okay, like it's the same. It's kind of the same. They managed to beat Gulag Gang. But I don't think it necessarily means it's like when we beat a gang, it doesn't mean that they won't smoke us like a few times. Like,
of course,
like so. Say it's Hydra versus Seaside. They're all in cars. They both jump out the car. Draco in Seaside gets hit by a car door.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
He's out. Like, it's over.
Yeah, he's dead. Or Flippy does it, and it happens to Flippy, and Flippy goes down straight away. Yeah. Like, and that's what people don't understand. FiveM will never be a platform for competitive shooting. Like it would never. Like it's the most scuffed shit.
It is.
You know what I mean? Like,
but it also attracts competitive gaming. It's like you almost have to be competitive. It's like an oxymoron. It's like I don't even know.
It's the same deal as Rust. Rust attracts those people too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. I mean, even outside of NoPixel, the competitive scene for FiveM is fucking massive. It's huge.
There's anything that gets streamed ends up being very competitive. Like it's just always how it is.
But also, like, so there's like shooters, right, that have never necessarily played like professional shooting games. They literally have learned to shoot through FiveM. Yeah. And these people, like, if they like, we think there's good shooters in NoPixel, man. If these people are like banned from every server in the world because they think they're like cheating. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like these people were born in the darkness of FiveM, basically. Yeah, they're raised on it
because it's free. You know, like you buy GTA when it's like on a free thing or when it's like $2, and then you can play FiveM Arena all day. Like people that don't have like, and they train in there and like they're just arena stands and it's kind of next level.
When it comes to a fight between a gang like Hydra or Seaside, since they both have basically unlimited money, the war's only going to end basically over shootouts. It's just going to be when they get bored of shooting each other. It's not going to be because of it's never going to be because of a money thing. So I don't know if it can honestly go either way.
So who are we deciding goes where right now? Oh, you have
so
you have the Angels under F.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Are we saying Seaside is good on A?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good spot.
A.
Yeah, I think that's a good spot.
C or borderline S.
They're borderline S tier. It almost feels like a crime to put Hydra in S and not Seaside. I almost feel like they neck and neck, to be frank. But we can leave that for now, and then
I just don't think they have the same level of respect
what we'll
in
do
the
then
city
as well.
yet.
So you see, like in the levels S and A, we'll actually rank them in order of where they would be in A.
Okay. Then they would be at the top.
Seaside, yeah, they're the king of A, like regardless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then Mandem, I think B, because they do have a bench. I think they've picked up some. I think they've picked up some shooters. I think, you know what I mean. They've got a lot of cash, like with their businesses, etc. Like they've got a gas station. Actually, Seaside have got a gas station as well.
Yeah, they do.
I didn't take the and they've got Seaside have got a gas station. They've got a restaurant. So Jesus Christ, actually, Seaside, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll leave that there for now. Who's next?
Rust are there on C.
Yeah, I think that's a fair spot. I mean, they're still trying to figure their stuff out, you know.
They're
down
down bad right now.
I think they had a bit of a bad time.
So
yeah.
I think they're capable of being like B or even A at once they. I think they're capable of B. Maybe not A right now for a while, but definitely B if they get their shit together.
I mean, they're down horrendous right now, so I think C is probably a good spot for them.
They're struggling right now, yeah.
Marabuntas?
They're going through what we went through a lot, you know?
Yeah, I would probably put the Marabuntas at the same level, probably C.
Yeah.
Just because, like, Mandem just beat Marabuntas, so it wouldn't even make sense. Like, if we put Marabuntas at B, it would have to be at the bottom of B. But the thing is like, without the Aztecas, in my opinion, they would have next to no presence unless it was on the weekends. And you only can do so much. You can have some really good shooters. Let's be real. Every single gang in the South Side have amazing shooters. We have them now. MG has them. Rust has them. Yeah, GG. Yeah, there you go. Vagos. Like, everybody's got shooters. So I think right now it's all about, like, your gang's perception, what you have available, the funds that you may or may not have, any businesses, or just the trajectory that you're on. And right now, I just think, like, and I'm not saying this to trash them. I actually like Marabuntas a great deal, and myself and several others were campaigning for them behind the scenes to get their shit, because in my opinion they were more deserving than the Ballas. I have no idea how the Ballas got their shit before Marabuntas, but they did. And that's no disrespect to the Ballas. It's just the Marabuntas are the biggest compliment that I can give the Marabuntas, and that compliment goes down a little bit because of the Aztecas, but I think over time they'll get rid of some of the Aztecas that don't really fit their narrative. But the biggest attribute of the Marabuntas is their leader, is Sergio. It's also the fact that they feel like an authentic gang. Like, they're, even BSK, like, we don't really have the type of authenticity that the Marabuntas have. Like, we're trying to figure it out. But like, it really feels like their gang is a character, not just individual characters. And that's what I really like about the Marabuntas. So,
yeah.
I would put them at C, but I think if they can get consistent, they can get some prio, they can have some opportunities given their way, they could easily be in the B column, no problem. But I would put them in the high C category. I still would put Rust before them. So, like, I would be personally putting the Marabuntas just behind Rust, simply because Rust has more money. They're more consistent.
They've got potential to make more money.
They have
Correct.
More assets.
They have more assets.
More assets, and they're way more. They're way more connected. Do you know what I mean? If you think about how many like tuner cars, etc., like Rust have, like, it's just next level. Like,
well,
you know
Rust
what I mean?
could like do high tier heists,
Yeah, they were in the casino like before we even hit a Fleeker, so it's pretty much.
But Marabuntas, on that character thing, have you ever seen their like rules? They have like a official,
I saw that on
gang
Twitter.
rules.
Yeah, I saw UMAD put something up about them. But the thing is a lot of these Aztecas don't follow those rules, So
they're not. They're a little loose with the rules, but like Sergio tries to keep that identity.
I think as well, though. I think UMAD's had to adapt, because let's be honest, if he didn't do what was necessary, then
we had to as well.
Yeah, exactly.
We had to as well, because like, if it wasn't like, I was on my wit's end with BSK.
Well, yeah, we
because like, we had nothing going for us, dude. Like, fucking people just, I don't know, man. I don't want to get.
We were the content for people to shit on. That.
Seriously, it was
we were
just
in a similar place. Marabuntas will feel like they're headed towards or have been through. I think when Marabuntas were waiting on their flag, it hit them really hard, and a lot of it demotivated a lot of them. By the time they got their flag, it's just they realized it's like more of a money sink.
Yeah,
and it wasn't enough to. The damage had kind of already been done. I think I honestly thought Marabuntas were going to get their flag when we did. I thought they're just a staple of the South Side. The way they're when you said their whole character like as a gang is like a character, I agree with that. I was really expecting them to get it earlier.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think it's a good place for them to be right now.
I've got Vargos next, but it's only because I've moved all mine around, so we can do Vargos if you want.
No,
I think
they're
B. I think they're B.
I think they're B too.
I think they get smoked by Seaside.
I think they're high B though. I think they're above Mandem.
I think they've got a bench, but the thing is, what's in my honest opinion, what Seaside does well is, and they don't necessarily gatekeep it, but they have a lot of people within the gang that want to push stuff in Seaside, so they can always monopolize because they have the only bench that makes roses, right? Whereas CG's bench and Vargos' bench is identical. Do you know what I'm saying? So. Seaside's bench is the strongest, like without a doubt, and everybody that pushes the stuff is from Seaside. So it's not like with the Vargos one where like we were getting shit, Marabuntas were getting shit. Now Gulag Gang are getting like do you know what I mean? Like it just everybody can get what they're offering, but obviously it's still not. They still have a lot of money, so I definitely would put them. I don't think they're necessarily. I think they're stronger than Mandem. I think they're probably the top of the B category.
Yeah. I do too.
I would put them at high B or low A, honestly.
I think I'll put them top of B for now, and then as we go through it, we can.
But I think just by their influence around the city and the respect level around the city pushes them to A. If we're talking about money, if we're talking about combat, like I don't know. I honestly think they're more A than B, but.
Well, I mean, we'll see. Like we said, we'll go through the list and we'll see because I don't know. Yeah, we'll like I said, as we get more on there, we can move some if we disagree with what we've put.
Because I think we're B, and I don't think we're on the same level as Vagos.
Yeah, but we can.
We can discuss that when we get to BSK.
Yeah. Give us a money printer, and then we'll see. No, anyway, ballers. Current ballers would be. I still think
it's in the C category. I'm just trying to figure out where in the C.
At least the top of it. At least above Rust. I don't think.
Man, I don't know, bro.
Rust is
the only issue with ballers at the minute is, and I think they've got I think it's John that's their leader now, and he knows how to talk, and I think he will network with ballers.
Not their leader?
No, I don't believe. Maybe I think he was, and now he's not. I don't know. I'm sure they'll sort all that shit out. I don't know, but obviously he's a very new guy. So with him being new to the city, his connections probably aren't as broad as other people. I think, depending on how he wants to go with the ballers or where he wants to take them, you know what I mean? That'll kind of define where they sit. Because let's be honest, guys, no matter what happens, ballers always have shooters. So that you don't even need to take that into consideration because we know they're always stacked. You know, as many people can leave, there's going to be more coming in that are better than the ones that left. Like, do you know what I mean? That's just the way it is.
I would say ballers, we just don't. There's a lot we don't know about what they're capable of.
But that's what I mean. And
the Vagos put them.
I think they've got hackers, so I think they're doing banks. I'll be honest. I don't know how deep they are into the weed now, since obviously Drip left and took all that strain and shit with him. Kind of like what Drew did to GSF, you know, where they got stripped of their main source of income through a member leaving. But I think they're C. Just mainly because even Marabuntas I don't feel like have many connections. But I feel like ballers have even less.
I'm just trying to think. The crazy thing is, I actually think the ballers beat the Marabuntas simply because the ballers are way more active. Like,
yeah, they are.
You know, and I'm gonna tell you right now, BSK is pretty fucking like, yeah, we're starting to get aggressive now and stuff, but like ballers, they'll do some rat shit. Like I think ballers would, whatever we're doing, they would turn it up like a little crank, not in terms of like more firepower, but just the things they will do, like this downtime between fights, this like, you know, making sure everybody's wearing colors. Like they'll do whatever it takes to get it in. And I think on the weekends, like if Marabuntas have their strongest, I think the Marabuntas beat this current version of Ballas. But what happens throughout the other days of the week? Like, we're learning that now, where like the Marabuntas don't really have a big presence at all Monday through Friday.
And the Ballas are way more.
The Ballas are fucking deep, dude. Man. They're deep.
That set would be purple, like, you know what I mean. That first lane would be balling lane. Like, let's be honest.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. It's a toss up between the two. Do I put them above Rust? I think before all the people left, like this newest version, absolutely Ballas over Rust. But now I think like they're sitting in the middle. I think depending, like, I don't know enough about these new Ballas. Like, I don't watch roleplay. I don't know who John is. I never heard of the name. I don't know how much money they have. I don't know what they get into. It's tough.
I think they're definitely C. I think what we should do is probably chuck them in C, and then we'll see what else goes into C, and then we can kind of arrange it on on where we feel that
think there's a lot we don't know about them.
Because the thing is about putting anybody in B that doesn't have like something that can generate them a massive amount of income. Because the problem is what we have to think is if we go into a spray war with any gang that has like a business that can allow them to make massive amounts of cash, even if we take 10 of their sprays, they can just put down 15 more, you know? And then, like, what do we do? Like, the biggest way to counter somebody taking your sprays is to just put down ones next to it.
Yeah, that's
like,
it.
It's just the facts. Like, and then they have to pay, because then they have a chance at not taking it.
Yeah.
And they have to pay 100 count up.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just the truth.
Yeah.
But I'm sure this, like I say, this spray mechanic, I don't know how long that'll last. I don't think it'll be in 4.0 anyway. I think it's that's a different discussion. But anyway. Right. I've got the hidden.
The F.
I think. Well, hold on.
I agree.
No. They do have an NA presence. I don't know how.
Okay, E.
Geared they are.
But the problem is we can't have angels in F and hidden in E. That's disrespectful to the angels.
All right, I'm gonna put angels in E, and I'm putting hidden in F.
I think angels are definitely E, just because every time you need class ones, if you're in class, she's got them. So that's enough for me. Like, that's. You know what I mean?
I think people don't know a lot about the hidden, and I think they sleep on them. I think
but it's because they're hidden.
Yeah, because they're hidden. That's the problem. Like you can have all you can have all the insider info possible on the hidden, but if they make no noise at all in the city, and you have no idea who these guys are or what they do, I can't name a single hidden person. And I mean, I know I'm an anomaly because I don't watch roleplay, so you're getting it from a weird perspective, but. Out of every conversation that I've ever had as OTT in the city, the hidden has never, ever once been brought up in any conversation with any other gang at any time. The only time I even knew the hidden existed was when I was removing their sprays up near the hunting spot. That was it.
The hidden fought GG for about 30 minutes and ended that. So I think you would, wouldn't you? No, admittedly, it doesn't mean they won't become something, but at the minute, it's just very hard being an unrecognized gang.
It's no disrespect to them. It's no disrespect. I'm just keeping it 100. I can't in good faith put the hidden in like D or E, knowing Rust is right above them. Like, there's just no way in fuck, right? Like, I'm sorry, I just can't do it.
I think they're just have they even fought anybody? Has there been any wars involving the hidden?
People were saying they fought GG for 30 minutes, but that was about it.
Yeah. I think if they actually push their influence in the city more, we can know something about them. I don't know.
Hey, thanks for the subs, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, everybody.
HOA next. This is the one that I don't really know much about at all.
I'm gonna put HOA in D. And this is coming once again from an OTT perspective. I don't know too much about HOA. I know that they can get guns. I don't know if they're a direct, if they actually have a bench. I'm assuming they probably do. I don't know. HOA, in my opinion, is basically the Lost, but in the city. So, if the Lost lived in, say, the city, it would be in a place like a Mirror Park, but just dingier. You know, they kind of roll the same way. They're good role players, but they're not aggressive. You might get in small scuffles. You talk shit. Nothing ever really comes of it. I don't ever see them in wars. Don't ever see them. Once again, it's another gang that's never in the conversations. At least in the conversations that I'm in. I don't know.
I think they're heavily NA as well. I think that's probably the reason we don't see them as much. I think their main characters are more NA. I think we probably see a few of like the ones that I suppose come round on the cusp of EU.
Yeah.
But I think they have connections, and I think they're connected. Actually, they actually
very
did.
Well connected, yeah.
They did the casino heist back before all the changes. HOA, to be fair.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I just don't think if we're factoring in everything, do they get smoked by every gang that's above them on that list? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they do. They lose to every gang above them.
Influence, but they're not aggressive, and they're not really. They don't come off as a warring type gang.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna put them at the top of D likely. So.
Yeah,
or the very bottom
Bondi
of C, but I think top of D is probably best.
Bondi boys.
Yeah,
I've got
probably C.
I don't know whether you know the meta OTT, Jeff.
No. What is it?
Dundee's dead.
Whoa, he's dead?
Yeah.
Like permit?
Yeah.
No shot.
Yeah.
It's well not.
Is it going to be one of these things where he's permit and then comes back? Is it going to be one of these? Like,
one of those other.
Might be a Hutch one. Might be.
It's one of those things. I think.
Okay.
They're really into that deep-seated slow burn RP. I really like that about them.
Yeah. The Bondi boys, in my opinion, are C. They've got a lot of civilians in their gang too. I think when push comes to shove and shit really gets. It gets really down.
He's in purgatory? He didn't Burma? Okay.
Okay, well then there you go.
Somebody told me he wasn't around.
Yeah, I think Bondi boys are going to be in the C category, but towards the bottom. Because Ball has beat them, Marabunta has beat them, Russ beats them, Mandem, Vago, Seaside, and Chang Gang Hydra. BSK beats them.
We'll keep BSK for last, so we'll skip to Clown Gang.
I don't even know who they are.
That's
They live
Chatterbox.
in
Chatterbox,
and they live in
it's just a bunch of
Grandmas.
SBS
They
shit.
live at Grandma's.
Okay. They can go with
the fun house is their turf.
They're going to the hit. They're going with the hidden for me. They're going F tier.
Yeah. I think it's kind of the same. Mayhem.
Ooh, Mayhem. I'm gonna go.
I would say D.
I'm going D. You literally took it off me. I think I'm going D. I think that there are people that can handle the business in Mayhem. I do like the fact that they hold down Polito, but I don't really see them as a threat.
I think they.
But they haven't got a printer, have they? Like
they can sell meth in Polito, so
that's true.
Well, the thing is, I think Mayhem can just sit up there and sell meth in Polito, but people are saying people disagree with BBMC in C, but I mean,
where do they think BBMC is going? In B?
They think they're B, but
they're not.
They're high. They're high as hell, man. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I know that there's a lot of Whippy fans out there, and the community's big and stuff. But
there's
now
as well. Look, see, they're telling you that.
Well, I think
I'm sorry,
guys. Just as well, guys.
Understand the Bondi boys' aggression in a war and like willing and like spirit for like actual.
But just as well, guys. Just remember, we're not just ranking this just based on like who can smoke who, because you have to take into account every gang in S. They just got millions. Seaside bench millions shooters, and the two gangs in B both have benches. You know what I mean? Like it pulls factors a lot into it. I'll be honest. If you had a bench and you were getting smoked every war, you'd still have fucking millions of dollars. You know what I mean? I don't know. I know it means everything, but actually, what means everything is sprays. I know you can lose sprays, but if you've got more money to put more down, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter.
Like, we've got CB, but I mean, I honestly still think CB or S.
I mean, just their influence in the city. Just
who's an S?
Cleanbois CB.
I don't. I personally think Cleanbois is. I think Cleanbois is I'm going to do a hot take. I think Cleanbois is top of B. And the reason is because I think they die to just about every gang up here above C. I think they get smoked.
The thing is, though, but they've got that much money. Like when NBC tried to go to war with them, they just just paid them money.
That's because but that's because Buddha doesn't want to have war content, right? Like they're just like get the fuck out. Like if we're just calling a spade, right? He avoids this conflict, and good on him. It's working phenomenally, right? Yeah. He should keep doing that. But if push comes to shove, and they actually had to war against a real gang, that money means nothing when you're getting clapped. I don't care how much influence you have, you're getting smoked. So like if you want to talk about in terms of connections, like a group or a syndicate that is like that runs the city, yeah, CB and Chang Gang, top of the charts, nobody's touching them. But if we're going to sit here and we're going to talk about who can beat who, and we're even factoring money, the money isn't going to do them any favor if their heart isn't in to fight. Because all these gangs up here, they're going to salivate for the chance to fight a community that big, and one that they know they're going to win. So like, why how can I in good faith put them at the top of S tier if we're talking about gangs that could beat other gangs?
Yeah. The thing is as well, like you're pretty much going to be fighting Lang, like because when you think about it, Ray is pretty much Rust. Dean is just Dean.
None of those guys are going to get into cars more than one time, right? Like it would happen one time for like a really cool scene where they would like gear up in cars and take a fight. And if it went bad, they'd be like, okay, enough's enough. Like, how do we solve this with role play, not with fucking gunplay, right? And they're the masters at that. Like, if we're talking about straight on a role play standpoint, these guys are S tier. But if we're talking shooting, I'm sorry.
I'll be honest, I think now.
Yeah.
Now most of them have their own gangs. Is it even worth putting them in there? Because let's be honest, Gulag Gang's Marty, Rust is Ray, like Speedy's pretty much CB, but he's Vargos. You know, like should we maybe
I don't think they belong
keep them to the side.
This
a gang,
list.
Yeah.
But I think if it's money and influence, and I think it's Cerberus. Like you're ranking Cerberus.
Correct.
And Cerberus obviously has unlimited influence.
I'll keep them off for now, and then we'll decide.
Because I don't think it's fair to CB that we even put them on this list because they're not role playing war content, right? They're
not role playing gang content.
Exactly.
As a gang.
They're role playing the syndicate. They're on a different trajectory than these gangs that we have up here, right?
And the fact is, even if we go to war with them as BSK, we literally instantly lose casinos, roosters rooms, but at the same time, it doesn't change the fact that we could smoke them.
We would just smoke them, right? But that's the thing. We would lose in the long run because they hold all the power in the city. But they would lose the fight. And I even think if you were to ask them straight up, they would tell you the same thing. But that's not the content they go for, and we respect that. That's why we never start shit with them. Even when I had beef with like roosters and stuff, I did it via music. I knew OOC that certain people were uncomfortable going down certain roads, so I read the room, which a lot of people in roleplay don't do. And then, I was like, okay, this is as far as it goes. I'm not going to like show up and shoot up the whole fucking place and start something that doesn't need to be started because they're not going to enjoy it.
It's almost like, right? It's almost like where they're just so powerful that they don't even need to be on this list. Do you know what I mean? Like they've actually elevated to a point where like this being on this list is below them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think
they're on a different wavelength, bro. We're peasants, bro. We're fucking peasants. Like we're peasants. They're so above the war content and that it's just
that's the truth.
Like,
going to war is like that's
lowering their standards. Exactly. Bro, if I could do what they do and be as successful as they are, I'd do the same thing, right? And I think that's the route that Saeed's going too, and good on him, right? I mean, I'm speculating, but like it doesn't seem like he's really enjoying getting in cars and driving around with his gang. He's more into the syndicate side of things, doing the higher mafia type stuff, being the boss that, waves the finger and the minions do what they do, and you sit up there in your Iron Throne and, call the shots and make the money. And that's great role play. I mean, that's really, really cool. That's what a boss does. So all those guys I just think are just role-playing differently. I can't put them in good faith on this list.
Mortel, E, I think.
Yeah, Martelli. Yeah, I actually put them above Angels.
Yeah, I would too. That's why I don't like Angels being E, because I don't like them being in the same category as Mortel. I think Mortel is E. And
you think
Angels
Mortel are better than Angels?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
They actually bang.
Yeah, like what are the Angels gonna do? Who's all in the Angels? Who's in the Angels?
They hold down a turf.
Well, the thing is now that listen to this, right? So the last time Angels went to war was with Royal Mafia. Mandem jumped in wearing pink for Mortel. The thing is, right, if Mortel went to war with Angels and the same thing happened, Mortel would roll with Mandem. Who would roll with Angels?
Wait, what? Angels ward Royal Mafia?
Mortel, yes.
Okay,
Mortel did,
okay.
and they were getting slapped, but then Mandem jumped in with Mortel, right? So who is going to jump in with Angels if that happens?
Hydra, they're done.
Yeah, and then what's going to fucking happen to Mortel?
But I'm trying to do this on a gang versus gang basis, right? Not like who's going to jump in cars and fucking do this stupid rat shit so they can get their W's. Fuck all that. I mean, it's just call it what it is, man. The only reason why people do that stuff is to save face for community so they can get these dubs. That's it. It's to save the perception of the public. Because if you're in your own gang wars, you fight your own gang wars. You don't jump into another group.
Angels? I didn't realize that.
It's so dumb.
I feel like
Angels... I saw Mandem clapping Royal Mafia.
I feel like Angels are in the Cleanbois category. Not that they're at the same level, but in that they just don't belong on this list.
But they got a gang spray, so I have to put them on there. If they have a spray, I got to put them on. They can get the smoke like everybody else.
The thing is, somebody needs to contest those sprays, but you know what's going to happen if you do.
What are you going to do? You're going to go past the wall of Hydra sprays first, right? Okay, Sammy.
Wait. I'm curious now. Do you actually have to have sprays touching?
No,
you don't anymore.
No, you don't anymore. No.
Yeah, it changed.
Okay,
it changed.
Okay, that changed, but it was.
I can't wait till we get to the Wastelanders and Sammy puts them in S.
Oh God!
I know you've got a weird fucking love for the Wastelanders.
Well, I love the Wastelanders. They're great. They're great role players.
I know. Okay, I'm not saying they're not. But like even Sammy is like, oh, Wastelanders. We love the Wastelanders.
Humble beginnings. Jackson was one of the first people Sammy met in the city, and he taught him a lot of stuff.
Let's get the biggest gang in the city out of the way. PD, S tier.
Oh, S tier.
Oh, S tier. They can't lose.
I think they're S tier above CG.
Yeah, they're
above. Yeah,
they're
top of S.
They're atop of everything. The only group that I think's above police is CB. That's it.
Yeah. Cool. Well, yeah, because didn't they buy them? Haven't they just bought the police?
I'm pretty sure they own like a department or they have some sort of. I actually think CB is the only entity in the entire server that I would put above the police.
Yeah, I think they've just bought them. I think they bought. Yeah. So somebody said to me they bought the cops, and now they all the Air Ones and shit, all their helicopters. They're fitting all them with heat-seeking missiles.
If you guys don't want to know the meta behind that, I won't say it. But there's a lot of cool stuff going on there.
Yeah, I don't really watch it, but I hear things. You know what I mean? People. I'm sure it'll be funny, especially when you start flying around in
CB above on the top of S if you're gonna go that route. But
we'll be flying around in our heli trying to land it on white, and we'll be blown off by missiles from fucking Air One.
Is that Bundy on the PD shirtless? Is that what that is? On the picture?
with all the divisions emblems in there as well.
Oh my God,
yes,
that's
the whole of PD.
Hail servers. All right.
Gulag gang.
A.
Yeah.
A.
They're an A. And I'm
putting
think
they're below Seaside, but they're A.
I'm putting them just under Seaside.
Yep.
Yeah. That one's pretty easy.
Don't quote me, right? They don't have a bench yet.
They've got the gas station for printing money, I guess.
But I don't know, I just foresee things coming. You know what I mean? I can predict the future like a mystic.
They have construction done. They have a gas station. They've got a lot of killers. They have a lot of presence. They've got a lot of they're well connected.
I'll be honest. The only reason they're even I think they're very close to Seaside. The only reason they're under is because the last war. I think GG had just been. I think what had happened is GG had been constantly warring the whole of the city. They did a bit of a
they
BSK
bit off
special,
more than they could
and
chew.
then they did a bit of a BSK special. Then Seaside went, okay, well you're fucking around with us, you're gonna get clapped then. And then they thought, oh fuck. And then everybody's already a bit like worn out with it.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you only can do it for so long.
They had Russ like ambushing them while they're trying to fight Seaside and all this sorts of shit. Like they go to re-up and then Russ is waiting for him. You know, like they were fighting two fronts. It was tough.
Yeah, and they have one member that has 100 million in his bank account. So pretty much
yeah. I better hope that guy don't leave the game.
Is the casino on the emblems? Can we put that as S tier? Like
that goes above S tier.
Royal Mafia.
I don't know too much about them. I know they do bang.
D.
I think they're D, but I think they're better than Mayhem.
Oh yeah.
You think they're better than Mayhem?
Oh yeah. I think so. I think they
have a lot of presence in NA.
I don't think they're stronger than HOA. But I do.
I don't think they have as much influence as HOA.
Yeah,
but they banged with Street Team, and they actually were winning. They were winning against Street Team. They were beating Mortel, and I think
banged
Street
with
Team
too.
Yeah, that didn't go very well for them.
No, but
they, I think Street Team were getting mopped until like Street Team found some more members, and then it was a bit different. But I think I definitely think they're stronger than Mayhem.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna put them between them two for now, between HOA and Mayhem.
They also hang around in the time zone where people are around to make stuff happen. You know what I mean? Like in NA, and all of them have jobs in all Chang Gang businesses. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. So I think they have they're just a bit more out there than Mayhem are. Being up in Palito only can get you so much, you know.
Well, they've done a great job establishing their group and circulating around the city, but I see them going the Cleanbois route. I don't see them being like bangers in the long term, just because they seem to be more business oriented. The way they dress, the way they, I don't know. I can't see them banging too. Maybe
they had some shoot. They've got some shooters.
Well, they got one. They do have civilians too that have like a lot of influence, right? They got like Ursula, for example. I think they're good.
Yeah, I think Royal Mafia is on their way. I think so too, they're kind of, they remind me of like they kind of remind me of Misfits, like the old Misfits back in the day, where like they're starting to get a little bit of momentum. They're starting to get their name around the streets. Some people still meme them a little bit, but they're also, staying the course. They're, it's hard to have a gang that sticks around for a long period of time, because you have so many people that come and go. You have people that try and sabotage what you're building. It's hard to lead a gang. So I think they're doing it reasonably well, considering. And they've had some hurdles. And so I think they're on their way. They're
moving up to bank jobs and everything. Yeah. They're definitely on their way,
Yeah.
Sinister Souls.
They don't exist, do they?
Like, do they not? I think they're after.
Yeah,
the purple biker gang. I never see them.
Sinister Souls. Yeah, I don't even know.
I mean, I've seen them since my time in the city. I've seen them occasionally getting food at Rooster's Rest. So that's it. Like,
I'll be honest. We'll just get this out of the way quick as well. Save Our Souls. I've never even
never heard of them. So
F tier.
Yeah.
What about the Pact? Like, I don't know who they are. They're going F tier.
I think they're a prison gang. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the Pack. Yeah, that's the Lifers or something.
Great role play, because great role play and all that kind of stuff. This isn't a talk on anybody's role play, no matter where we place people. I'm sure everyone's got great role play.
Yeah. They're S tier in prison, but they don't belong in this list.
The Blocks.
The Blocks.
I think they've kind of. I just don't think they're very active anymore. I think they used to be like amazing content, but.
They're on the clown level in terms of just SBS shit.
Yeah, so, which one's the Blocks? Like what
it looks like the Bagels.
Mike
it's two guns. There's two guns.
I see
it. Looks like there's the Bagels.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They're going E or F for me.
SN.
SN. I'm gonna put in the D. I'm gonna go D. And I'm gonna put them. I'm going to put them just behind Royal Mafia. Simply because I think they're pretty much on the same trajectory as Royal Mafia. I think they're ahead of Royal Mafia in some aspects, but behind them in others. And I think that would be a very competitive gang fight between them two. And I think that we could swap those in and out at any time.
There's just very
Yeah, mostly
SN
the
have
same
just
level.
some very talented people. They've got some shooters. They've got some very talented drivers. They've got hackers. They've got mega weed strains. You know, like them guys. If they all wanted to go into a gang that had a flag one day, you know what I mean?
BSK,
it would be so strong.
Yeah, I kind of wish that they would have done something
like Blunt, the leader of SN, has like 3 S-class cars. You know what I mean? Like all paid off. Like he literally makes us all look like he's.
They did go toe-to-toe with Bondi Boys a little bit, though.
Yeah, and they got smoked.
They did in the end, but who else did they war?
Seaside.
Yeah, well, I mean, that ain't gonna go. That ain't gonna go well. Yeah.
But I think just the ambition means something. I don't know.
Oh no, they do, and that's they fuck with one of their boys, so they fuck with them back. It's just how it. Like I get it, but sometimes you got to know when you're against it, and they knew they were beaten, so. It is what it is.
I think SN could take Royal Mafia personally, but I think Royal Mafia has more influence in the city than SN.
You might be right on that. You might be right.
The Lost.
The Lost, I'm going to put just above HOA. So I'm going D for Lost, top of D.
Yep, top of D. I think so too.
They don't really have.
They've got access to RPGs. That's enough for me.
Yeah, like they're heavily connected, but once again, like the Lost is in their own world. They're like very segregated from the rest of the city. So, and they show up and they appear and they do things, but let's be real here. Like even when we fought the Lost for a very short period of time, once we learned how to get inside their compound, like we were even wiping them, and we weren't even strong back then.
Oh, imagine us now.
It wouldn't even. It wouldn't even be. It wouldn't even be.
We wouldn't have Dragonoffs on the hill. I mean, those towers would be.
Well, no, we'd have fucking AV and Max flying in there on bikes, landing on top of the towers. You know what they're like. I honestly think SN are better than Raw Mafia. I think they're above.
All right,
I do too.
I'm not against that because
SN have presence 24 hours a day.
Yeah, well then I'm not against that.
The problem I have with SN is it's like looking at a pack of zebras. You know, like you have all the stripes and you don't know like how many there are. I don't know how many SN there are. Like it's hard for me to identify specific SN members because they have a look sort of, but they all wear the chain and a lot of them just wear masks. So it's hard to know like what their presence really is because I don't know if I'm at one part of the city and then I go to the next part of the city if I'm looking at the same guy that I just saw. Like it's hard to differentiate between them and it's hard to gauge their influence through that a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not.
Does that make sense?
No, it does. It does. I'm with you. I'll put SN above Royal Mafia, but I think that they can swap in and out. I think these two gangs need to bang, and then we'll really know what's up.
Hey, Joe, do you know what's funny? You know what? Somebody just messaged me. So earlier, you know, when I was being told to leave the scene with the cops, and my game was bugging, and my voice box was like breaking as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what? One of the police officers said?
What?
Oh, he must have because they knew I was BSK. He said he must have left his voice box back in the arcade. That's what he said to me.
Oh.
What does that even mean?
In character, that's what he said to Denzel.
Haha.
What does that even mean?
Is that
supposed to be like a?
Is that like a jibe at me being an arcade shooter? I mean, I know I'm good, but
yeah, I don't know. People say a bunch of weird shit in the server all the time, bro.
I just think that's hilariously cringe.
Just whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I just ignore all this stupid fucking shit, man. It's so fucking dumb.
I just think it's funny. Like, you know what I mean? I wish I'm never gonna get Prio just being in the arcade though, so I'm gonna have to venture out there soon.
Yeah. Okay.
NBC.
NBC. I'm gonna go NBC.
I'd say bottom of C at best.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say bottom of C so far. Yeah. I think Bondi's boys beat NBC. I know Ballas do. Marabuntas do. Russ definitely does. Mandem, Vagos.
I
think they're definitely C because they have potential.
Yeah.
They have potential to be like there. You know what I mean? Like if because they've got some killers like on their best day. They definitely smoke everybody in C. Actually, I think on their best day, they smoke everybody in B. But when does it come? I don't think they're as active as they used to be. I think they've got a lot of people that do a lot of OSC stuff. And that happens, you know? Like, it is what it is. Like, I think NBC used to be a lot period. And they're still...
I got a hot take. I think NBC is the most overrated gang in the city. Period. I think they've got really good... They got some super talented role players. But in terms of fighting, I think they're the most overrated gang. I'm not saying they're the worst gang, but people hype them up. It's like they're still running on the success that they had 9 months ago or a year ago, but they aren't the same NBC that was here 9 months ago or a year ago. Half of them are playing cops, half of them don't seem interested. When we fought BSK, they did everything they could to not wake up during EU once they got what they wanted. And even when we woke up during NA, on a good day there was like 4 or 5 of them. On a good day.
Yeah, it's too bad we weren't what we are now.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
And
once again, I'm just being brutally honest. This isn't me taking a shot at any of them. I like the guys. There's several NBC that are great role players. I mean, Crackhead Craig is, top tier Southside gangster type shit. And you guys already know how I feel about my boy there, fucking Salim. Right? So these guys are all amazing role players, but in terms of a gang versus gang, I think every gang that we have here in C, maybe outside of Bondi Boys, but I don't know because I don't know too much about Bondi Boys. I think NBC gets wiped. I just think they don't stand much of a chance. That's my opinion. Am I biased a little bit? Maybe because I don't watch them. But I did have an opportunity to follow them for like 2 months while we were at war. And I was waking up NA, undercover, watching them down at their docks. And yeah, there were the odd days, but most of the time it's Guy hanging out with Mandem or Guy hanging out with some people from CG or whatever, trying to get people together.
It's a bit of a MG situation, I think.
But they have Prio.
If they have their 6 best all the time.
But they have Prio.
But I think it's OOC commitments. I think that's what probably stops them being around.
But
every gang is so strong. If we were rating these gangs on if they all had their 6 best all the time,
but it'd be hard to rate.
Everyone would all be in the
everybody be S tier, right? Because it's like the perfect storm. But I'm going by consistency and what you show. It's not shoulda, coulda, woulda, or if I had these 6 people, we would beat you. The problem is you don't have those 6 people, and if you do, people see them once. Once a week. What happens all those other times? It's like the weekend war, right? It's like, okay, are we only going to count the weekend? Because if that's the case, this is a different ranking. But if we're going to count 7 days, it's different, right?
But I still think they're C though. I think
they're C.
Would have a hard time against them.
I agree.
I think Alan is a very Alan's still very active and he's a very very talented shooter and stuff. You know what I mean? And he's got a lot of connections and stuff. And same with Guy. I think the main guys are still around. It's just a few of the other ones they had that used to flesh out the roster have just got tied up with other bits. So.
I think bottom of C is I think NBC beats everybody below them right now. No problem.
Do you think they're above BBMC?
They might be. That's why I said because I don't really know. They might actually be above Bondi Boys.
You know what?
Do you want to know the honest truth? Yeah, I also think Ballers are top of C. I think they beat MG because they're deeper all the time, and then I think they actually beat Rust.
I would swap Ballers, but the thing about Ballers is we just don't know. Like they're deep, but we just don't know what these new Ballers are capable of.
Like, do they even have money?
That's why we kind of put them there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, they're definitely above MG.
I think they're above MG. I wouldn't want to. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I would say that. Yeah.
And they just are because they're just deep. Regardless of anything else, what are two Aztecas going to do against 6 Ballers? Nothing. You know what I mean?
Rust. People say X Gang is broke as fuck. Rust is richer as a gang than BSK. They have assets in one person is worth more than our entire gang. So you
that's
guys,
what people don't see, I guess.
You guys don't see the assets. We count that too.
The Saints.
I don't know. Have they fought anybody?
I'm putting the Saints between Royal Mafia and Mayhem.
I think Saints are actually at the bottom of D.
Really?
They were strong, but they had a bit of internal drama in regards to them having to move area. And then they had to some of them wanted to pay 15 million for this house, and some of them didn't, and then some of their main guys left. I honestly think they're weaker than Mayhem. I think Mayhem have got it held. I think Mayhem at least all in it for the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't think the Saints are all in it as much as they were.
All right, I'll take your word for it because I don't know much. Yeah. I do know that they were deep as fuck. Like they had a lot of people at one point when we were at those 3 wars, so that's why I put them above Mayhem.
They were. If this list was like a few months ago, I'd have said they're probably even near like SN's level. But as we've moved on, like you just see less of them around. You see less of them in the yellow pages and stuff. The Dons.
I would put them at E.
E, yeah, and I
really?
would, yeah.
Top V.
I honestly think Dons just being GG Street Team makes them more relevant than E.
Well, I think Omar kind of would elevate them a little bit, but
I think they're just bottom of. I think they're bottom of D.
I think.
I can't agree with that.
I don't think the Dons would go toe to toe with Lost, HOA, or Mayhem.
Because the Dons are like the Dons have Omar and 3 civilians. I mean,
they're the top of E.
S tier.
Dons will struggle to scramble 6 people.
Come on, man! Like
no, because they stay as
you know what? Omar needs to cut himself loose from the Dons, man, and just focus on the GG stuff because the Dons ain't it, man.
No, I think he does now.
Okay,
I think they're top of E.
Yeah, they have no presence pretty much at all. Like we saw the shit that they did against BSK.
Put them below Mortel. I'll be honest. I put them.
No. He can't do. Dude, they live next to GG. That's clout. If you live in the same building, as
but
GG,
I'm not talking about clout. I'm not talking about clout though. I'm talking about if Don's got into a car and Martelli's got into a car. I think the Dons would slightly edge them. I do agree, but I think if the Dons get in a car against any other gang above, they're gonna get smoked on a consistent basis. Like, you know, if they had 10 fights, the Dons are losing 9 of them to every gang that is in D, C, B. Well, you go up to B, A, and S, they're losing all the fights.
They do have 70 million, though.
I think
you're a fucking troll,
I think
bro.
Mortel has more of an influence and consistency as a gang, but I don't know if they would.
I think they're top with 70 million.
Oh, fuck.
I think A tier.
Nah, bro, he's going top of E for me. Top of E.
Yeah.
Top of E.
Yeah.
They even use Leslie's bank account.
Oh my god.
We've got 70 million.
Bro,
Have you know we've
somebody needs to delete Leslie's bank account because that shit is so brokenly dumb.
Fucking crazy.
So fucking dumb.
You want to go to war with us? Okay, 1 second.
Yeah.
The next day you wake up and they've sprayed your whole turf.
So fucking crazy. All right. What is this Viking one? Who the fuck is this?
That's Wastelanders.
Yeah, don't talk. Jeff,
I actually have information about Wastelanders.
Don't talk bad.
I actually
look. Oh, here we go.
Okay. Wait. I'll tell you where I would put them. I would put the Wastelanders at the top of E. I would actually put them above Dons. I wouldn't put them at the same level as Lost or anything, but
you say the top of A. Is what you said.
Top of E.
Oh, sorry.
But when they fought Lost, you guys probably don't know this, but they took fights against the Lost. They did. Like at least I was told that.
But the Lost aren't shooters, man.
The Lost. I know, but that alone should mean something.
No, they got smoked. What do you mean?
No,
what? So if the clowns always take fights versus Chang Gang.
No, a bunch of gangs dogpile them when they were fighting the Lost. Like that's what happened. I don't know how they started all those wars, but a bunch of gangs did dogpile.
Sammy,
are you in the waste? Are you going to tell us?
Sammy, is there something you got to tell BSK like live here on this right now?
Jason was a Wastelander. I was not a Wastelander.
I mean, dude, Mayhem went to war with Chang Gang the other week. It doesn't put them in S.
But they will. But the thing is, they will actually fight and go to war. Angels won't. You know, like. All right.
Belong, I'm putting the Wastelanders just above Mortelli, but behind the Dons.
I think that's fair.
That's where I'm going.
Putting them in F next to the blocks.
I think presence-wise, they have more than the Dons. I don't think the Dons have much of a presence.
But
to be fair, maybe then they are the top of E because you do know Wastelanders are around. Like I could never find a Don if I wanted
to. They're consistent, and
that is true. Why are we giving the Dons so much respect, man? I'm going Wastelanders above the Dons. Top of E. All right.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Denzel actually spoke to Z in the city like a couple of weeks ago, and he said, "Yeah, if you were planning on ever going to war with us again, it'd be a really bad idea." And he was like, "Why?" I was like, "Just trust me. You don't want to go down that road." Can you imagine our new the new guys first Dons? It would. Oh my god.
Bruh. It would just. It wouldn't even be. Yeah. No.
Street team.
I'd say
they're going C.
C?
Yeah, they're going C.
There's definitely C. Exactly, we're in C.
I'm putting Street Team. From what I know of Street Team, they got to go behind NBC. They're going bottom C. I'm sorry.
I think they're
going bottom C.
I don't know who came out on top of Marabuntas versus Street Team, but all I know is it was Bleach carrying them like hard. And obviously,
because Bleach was a demon.
Unfortunately, he's obviously no longer with us. So,
Forehead's not with them either anymore.
No, that's right. Fuck.
Yeah,
Ooh, but they're still above the Lost. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
so,
I think they're better than the Lost. I think they just have more presence than. Let's be honest, man. Pigeon does God's work with all his.
Yeah, Pigeon's awesome, bro.
He's the biggest dealer in the city. Let's be honest.
Pigeon's awesome.
Regardless of any capability of what they're like in a war. Everybody knows that if you want anything, you want it there and then. Who's your call?
Pigeon.
Like you know what I mean? Like, and you can't take that away from them. And they're still under the umbrella. You know, like nobody's gonna take their turf ever. They're never gonna get fucked on. Let's remember, guys. Street Team don't have a spray.
That's right.
Like you know what I mean? Like, and you just assume they would, wouldn't you? You know what I mean? Like I until I thought about it, then I just assumed they were like.
I think between Marabuntas and NBC's fair. I mean, considering they're above gangs with actual gang sprays and turfs, I think. Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah, bottom of C. That's where they're going for me.
I say they're above NBC just because I think they're more influential than NBC.
I think they're above Bondi Boys and NBC.
I think they'd actually.
I put them below Marabuntas. But at the same time,
I can't. You guys can. If you want to use it on your list, Street Team staying bottom C for me. I think the Bondi's boys beat them. I think NBC beats them. Marabuntas beat them, and anybody else above.
The way I see it is though, where do Bondi boys get their stuff from? Who do Marabuntas get their stuff from? Who do NBC get their stuff from?
Yeah, but I mean, if you have a whitelist for guns, they still have to sell you the guns. So like, it doesn't matter if they have a bench or don't. If you have a whitelist, you have to sell guns, right? Or you're a dog shit role player and you shouldn't have a whitelist. Period. So and all the gangs that have the benches, I have never, even when I've had issues with the gangs, I've always still been able to get my guns, you know? So like the ones that have it are still following the rules.
Yeah, so, I remember when we were buying Glocks off Mike to fight Hydra.
Correct.
Do you remember that?
Correct, right? So
we'll see you in 10.
Yeah, exactly. So like, you know, they still have to spread it around no matter what. So I just think the Bondi boys have a lot more presence. I don't know too much about the Bondi boys, but I do know they're deep. I'm putting them above it, but if you guys want to, you don't have to have the same list as I do. Like that's the fun part about this.
Now you've explained it like that, it does kind of make sense.
Oh, okay, I agree. GSF.
I think they're top of C.
Top of C, yeah, I agree.
I honestly think there's a reason Gulag Gang end wars with them.
Yep. They held their own against GG. Very
Man,
well.
I'm just trying to think. Can Rust beat GSF?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think GSF.
Dude,
right now
GSF are like you said ballers. You know, you said ballers might get ratty, dude. Like, have you seen the clip of?
I haven't.
All the Gulag Gang, right? I sat in a car off the highway near the gas station. All you hear is, "It's a green world car," and then this grenade just goes, ting, and then the car blows up all of GG, and they just, and then Turk's like, Fuck this, I'm going to bed.
But that was a while ago. That was before I think they even got some more fresh
and the thing is, right, GSF
killers.
are fucking holding down their block now, man. Nobody is allowed to use their fucking block. Like, people have been going into their block and they've just been smoking them with no remorse. You know what I mean? Like,
they smoked Seaside when Seaside tried to push GSF block.
All right, let's do it, man. It was between. It was. I think. Okay. You sold me. You sold me because I was like, it can Rust. Like I put GSF above Ballers for sure, but I didn't know about Rust because I we handled Rust pretty well, but like, let's not forget the fact that these guys were aggressive. They had numbers. They had money.
Yeah.
You know, like. A couple of the fights we won were really close. Like, you know, it was still
I think they fought Seaside on the streets, though. I think they did well. I think they did okay versus Seaside on the streets. And let's be honest, we're not putting them like B or A. We're just saying top or C. You know what I'm saying?
I think GSF actually could probably go toe to toe with Mandem, definitely.
But do you know what's funny, right? So you know how when we fought Rust, they were being really aggressive versus us?
Yeah.
Do you know if we ever fight Rust again? I don't think they'll be like that.
No, because they thought that was the problem. Is they thought that we were the old BSK, and they just thought like, I watched some funny fucking shit, man. I watched this clip of Ray telling his boys, we're gonna take the color red off them, and I'm just thinking to myself, these guys are fucking wild. Like they have no idea what's about to smack them in the face, and then that was that. We made good work of them. So, I'm with you. GSF top of C. They might even be B tier. They might even be B tier.
I think GSF is B tier. I think GSF is bottom of B at the very least. I do.
Man, I can't believe I'm putting this much respect on their name, but like I almost have to because I've been seeing it.
But you also just the whole vibe around GSF has changed. Like you know what I mean? Like them being respectful gains them more respect.
Yeah. Well, they got. I mean, they don't have to worry about Summer. They don't have to worry about Drew. Like the ones that were really sort of holding back the gang. Same with Dex, right? Like the leadership of GSF was the thing that was holding them back. It was almost like the leadership, and this is no disrespect to any of the leaders like OOC. I'm just saying this from a character standpoint, is they were almost gatekeeping GSF. It was like they were holding on to their identity and the role that they had within GSF, but they did not want to do the role. They didn't want to put in the work. And whenever other people came in, someone like Ty, for example, or even Drew to an extent, whenever they tried to take charge, the old heads would be like, "Fuck you, you're not doing that." And they would just show up to like talk shit and tell people what to do, and then leave again. And so I think the best thing that's happened to them is getting rid of some of those higher ups. So now that GSF can breathe and have a new identity and be a gang, not be these placeholders. Yeah, like they can actually
just be a gang.
There you go.
I would put them at the bottom of B, honestly. I think they could take Mandem, and they've held their own against GG and Seaside. I would even say that it was even in their fights, their wars. If anyone tried to push their turf, they got smoked. Like
but
Seaside and
GG literally ended a war with them twice.
GG ran into the GSF grinder over and over, trying to push their turf. So did Seaside. And I think on the street it was probably edged towards Gulag Gang and Seaside, but GSF still held their own. I would put them at B.
New subscriber.
Sure.
I think there, because obviously we're saying B is the gang with the bench, but let's be honest, they have Chamberlain, and that area to sell drugs in.
It's amazing.
It's
the best.
It's better than any fucking bench.
Yeah,
I just think they would beat any of the other gangs in C too. On top of it,
and the turf they have as well. Yeah. And the turf they have, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think GSF is B.
Man, I wouldn't put him at the same level as Vagos. I think Vagos should be A. To be fair, I think Vagos should be A.
I don't.
No.
I just think that with their money and influence, and I don't know.
I'll be honest. Do you know what makes Vagos not A? The fact that they allied with Gulag Gang. And why have they allied with Gulag Gang? So they don't get smoked.
No.
Yeah, what do you mean?
But when has the Vagos been getting smoked? Like, who are they afraid of getting smoked?
Well, they're afraid of...
Why else would you ally with the only gang that's saying they're going to push everyone out the south side if you're not afraid of getting smoked?
And let's be real.
Think they're afraid of Gulag
Yes.
Gang.
Yeah. And let's be real. Like, and I love Vagos. Like, I love Saeed so much. Like, he's such a good dude. I love the Vagos. But I'm saying this from an in-character position is... What the Vagos have done by aligning with GG makes absolutely no sense because, number one,
I hate it, but yeah.
Number one, it sucks to always have two big power heads morphing together, or not morphing, but like working together to try and bully out everybody else. Right? It's a cop-out way to not have to fight. It's like playing poker and you're on a table and you're five-handed. You have five people on the table. And the two top stacks refuse to go up against each other. Like, even if they have like a really good hand,
keep putting your wall in every single hand.
Exactly. They're just going to go after the small one. So it's almost like that's what they're doing. That's it. Playing for position. And the other thing is the Vagos during this Vatos alliance, what was the one gang that didn't give a shit about the alliance, that talked shit about the alliance, never helped out. It was GG.
Yeah.
It was GG, and GG didn't give a fuck. And yet you had Marabuntas and BSK were the two gangs that were willing to go to war with anybody under any circumstance and actually have the back of what Speedy was saying and the group as a whole. Meanwhile, GG didn't give a fuck. And the fact that Speedy and the Vagos decided to align with them before the others, whether that's Rust, Marabuntas, or BSK, says a lot about how they're playing. They're out there playing chess, and they're positioning themselves in a way that they can hold hands with another entity that may give them trouble. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, but, the writing's on the walls. The writing's on the walls.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
So, yeah.
Sure. I just think if you're taking like the two most, I don't know. Yeah.
All right. What do we got? We got BSK next.
I think. Okay. Wait. Should we? Say our answers at the same time or something.
Yes.
I think we belong in B.
Oh,
what?
I know we're at least. I know we're in B. I know we're in B. I think I personally think as of right this moment, we're just behind Vagos right now today.
That's what I agree with when we're rolling deep. Yeah, I would say so.
And I'm only saying this because I respect the Vagos and we haven't fought them in a very long time. My heart tells me we would win that war. But out of respect for them and to put back my ego some, I got to go behind Vagos. We would have to be tested beforehand.
I just think we would never outlast them.
Guys,
they have way too much money.
I'm just thinking, I just need to be a bit careful here, if I'm honest, because, I don't want to wake up Monday and we're going to war with Rust Ballers, Marabuntas, NBC.
Okay, guys, we're F tier.
Yeah. I think we're behind the pack.
Yeah, we're F tier.
Okay, before we got all of our new guys, we were
F. D.
No, we were where street team is. We're we're at bottom C. We're at bottom C. I think that, we would probably have lost the war to Bondi Boys simply because, for one, we're not in their time zone, but they would then catch us as we're waking up. Natural Born, like NBC, we did fight them, and, they were making work of us during NA because we couldn't wake up. But we were doing perfectly fine during EU.
If one of our guys has a big win at the casino, I think we're top of B.
We just need to gamble the gang funds, guys. We need to go all in on.
I mean, listen.
After a heist, man.
Listen, in my heart, I feel like we're top of B, but I can't in good faith put us above Vagos right now. I can put us above Mandem and GSF, no problem.
I think if anything, we're the same level as GSF.
I think.
You think?
I'm not thinking it just from a smoking point of view, because I'll be honest. You send some of our new guys in against any of them gangs and they're going to smoke them. You know what I mean? I just think from a money point of view, we don't have the capability to make as much money as those gangs.
We could never keep up economically with Vagos.
Or Mandem.
Even
or
if we
Mandem.
Do I think it makes sense that if we were going to have... If trouble came our way from one of them B gangs, would it make sense in RP to entertain it and bang it out and see? Yeah, absolutely. Because they're the next, you know what I mean? Bondi Boys, we have no reason. Street team, I don't know. What we're proving,
we're a few days of bad fights away from being broke. If we're standing on the line.
We are.
I feel like we are.
We've got like $4 million.
Yeah,
what?
And somebody offered to buy my GTR for 11 million.
Yeah, dude, we've got.
Okay, well, I'm not counting the GTR.
Dude, OTT alone has 1.8 by himself.
I'm not counting your personal money.
Yeah, but if Denzel needs to sell the GTR to spray the whole of El Burro himself, then you know what I mean.
Yeah, dude, the money, the money, like I actually think we're up good right now. Like, yeah, we have gang funds, but you guys know how OTT is. Like, I will put that's the difference. Like, that's what makes OTT a good leader. Is like
Denzel and OTT combined just in cash have 3 million. Like,
we are not one or two bad fights away. Trust me on that. We've got so much fucking money.
No, I meant like 3 days of like solid losing. So we're
but who are we solid losing to though? Like, it's not going to happen against Marabuntas.
Nobody. But you never know how things play out.
Sammy, just figure right. The weekend is 2 days long, bro. How are we having 3 days of solid losing?
What I'm saying is we could smoke the Lagos for 2 weeks and they would still have way more money.
Yeah, but here's the thing. We also have to stop thinking of these gangs as like who's going to win is whoever has more money. Because I'm just going to be honest, it's dog shit roleplay. It's fucking awful. And I will just OOC leave a war if we're basing this off of who can drain each other's gang funds. Because the whole server is what's the word I'm looking for? It's rigged. The server is rigged, 100%, right? And this isn't me taking a shot at anybody. There's favoritisms and there's opportunities to certain entities. Those certain entities have gangs and they have more money. So if you're only going to base this off of a buff that a gang has from a money standpoint, it's dog shit roleplay. If we're fighting a gang for 2 weeks and 80% of the fights are going our way and they're getting smoked and they want to keep going because they have more money, and then eventually they're hoping we lose money so that they can then say, now we're winning. It's dumb. It's dumb. So, I don't care about the money. I'm talking about people that fight on the streets. Money does play a factor, but endless money shouldn't play a factor, right? Like, it's so dumb. You go to the casino and win $30 million, and now what? So suddenly you're up two letters on this because you have endless money.
60 mil now.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
dumb.
It's like the whole spray thing. The spray thing makes it even more about money. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, but nobody gives a fuck about the sprays anymore. Like, even the ones that have all the money in the world and all the sprays, they shit on the sprays all the time. Yeah. They tell me, even in character, don't bother taking them. They're broken. It's dumb. It's a waste of time.
Yeah, even if we lost sprays, I would be like, okay, just like, you don't want to play someone. It's shit in it. Really, when you think about it. Like,
like I'm not gonna count the money aspect. It does to a degree. Like, if a gang is completely fucking broke and they don't have people around to, like, grind and make money, yeah, then you start losing some. But just because one person has $10 million in the bank, or they have somebody that has $100 million in the bank that they're close to, doesn't mean that, oh, well, they can just keep fighting forever, so I guess they're above. I mean, that's just dog shit roleplay. It's just dumb.
I agree.
It's just dumb.
Agree. I wish it didn't have that kind of influence, but it...
It does to an extent.
When they go into the fight with like 6 grozas and cocaine.
Yeah, but if they keep getting wiped, right? Like, who gives a fuck, right? Like, it shouldn't matter. They need to have the humility to say, yes, okay, we have money because we're privileged in the server, but we also got to understand that we got to let our privilege and our ego not take a hold and actually concede, because we're losing on the streets. Sure, we can keep this going forever. You keep this going forever, it gets toxic. Because then people just start saying dumb shit. It's just the way it is.
Do you not feel like that's kind of the situation that the route that's going to go down with this current war that we're in, though?
I don't think so. I don't think so, because, like, the Marabuntas don't have, like, endless amounts of funds. Like, yeah, okay, they had somebody that won a few million bucks, but, like, once again, yeah, this week we fucking mopped them. But, like, on the weekends, it's competitive, right? It's competitive. So I'm not going to sit here and bitch and moan OOC that they haven't given up yet. But, like, I think we're on that. We're at the end now. I think, like, they keep taking a couple more of these L's. Theoretically, they should give up, and rebuild and do their thing. But, if this shit went on for another 3 weeks and it's still going the way it's going, then yes, it's time for somebody to step up and fucking say something like, okay, like, when is this going to end? Just because you have money doesn't mean we should keep doing this, right? Especially if you're going to burn everything, and then what? We're looking for $1 million, or we're looking for $500,000, wherever we end up, coming to a consensus. You still have to be able to pay. So, I don't think we're there yet, but, like, look at Rust. Like, Rust could have done that very same thing, and they didn't do it, right? They had the humility to say, okay, this isn't going our way. We already got a lot of shit going on. Let's just end it. Like, they had the money to keep that shit going forever and probably would have bankrupted us because at the time we didn't even have all that much money. Like, we had some, but they could have done that. They didn't do it, right? So that's my hot take on the money situation.
People are saying because Mandem now has Zakid and he wiped BSK on his own that we wouldn't stand a chance first round.
I don't really care. Don't give a shit.
Then I would put us toe to toe with GSF. I don't know exactly where. B tier, I would put us behind Vagos, but could be anywhere in the B tier, I think.
Dude, I'm gonna.
I think in fights, I think we could take Vagos, but I think since we're not judging this purely on fights, it's more of it is about influence and money. I think.
Yeah, but how rich is the Vagos? That's the thing. Like in character, I had to give their gun dealer $20-something thousand up front because he was in debt and he couldn't pull out his van to get the guns out. Like, is Speedy rich? Because like it doesn't seem the Vagos are swimming in money. You know, like Mandem have way more money than the Vagos, guaranteed. So,
but Speedy is like you. He probably put his game first.
I love the Mandem man.
So
I think they're
if Speedy's rich, the Vagos
guys,
is rich.
Anybody that main watches any gangs that are on BSK, like this is not any bashing, man. A lot of the gangs that we're talking about, like I personally watch. I think the guys are great, and it's the same as it's not that deep, guys. Jeez.
Well, this is why I don't like doing these things, right? And talking about role play out of character and stuff, because people are there's so many fanboys and fangirls that just get all in they feeling. Oh my god, I know this, I know that. It's just like, dude, you're a fucking loser, man. I'm just sitting here just fucking chatting, telling you guys my opinion. You don't have to agree with everything. I'm not right on everything, but I'm also biased as well because I only see certain things. So it is what it is.
I think
it is funny. Yeah, from your stand, I don't think people realize because obviously. Even I think, even myself and I probably watch more.
Oh, you watch way more than I do.
What I don't think people realize is you don't watch any at all. You know what I mean? So they probably think. I think they take you just not knowing anything for you being ignorant. Like guys, Maximus doesn't watch a single bit of GTA roleplay.
I don't.
When he's not in the city streaming. Like this is facts. Like this.